All right. You're having too much fun. It's time to stop this nonsense and get on with the program. Oh, listen to that. There we go. Settle the heck down. How's everyone tonight? All right. Got a room full of downtown lovers. Yeah, no, maybe? You still undecided? You got a darn ticket to come here. You must love this place. My name is Craig Sharton, and I am the interim CEO for the Downtown Fresno Partnership and a couple of other things. How about that? So I'm thinking tonight what we should just do is say that a whole bunch of great stuff happened in the last year, and a whole bunch more will be happening next year, and then go back to the bar. You think, yeah? Good. Oh, you're yawning already? I've only said like 3 sentences. Jeez. Rough crowd, Mark. It's a rough crowd. Yeah, all right. So, welcome to the 2018 State of Downtown. We started this in 2009 as a way to highlight what's happening in our downtown, have a bunch of good people get together and have fun and celebrate and learn stuff, so you can go out and spread the word about all the good things happening in downtown Fresno. So we start with this because I'm going to try to use nice words. We're social media tramps. So we want you to know that, well, there we go. So follow us on social media. We like it. When people say we haven't heard about an event, and we send it out to 12,000 people, we wonder why you're not one of them. So follow us on all of our social media, and our diligent staff, and Chris Rocha, who sends out weekly emails to let you know all the things that are happening in our downtown. We want you to be involved, engaged, know, and help us spread the word. We'd like to thank our sponsors. And usually we just throw them up here and you pretend to look at them and you don't remember them, right? It's not the normal course of events. So we're going to read them together, left to right, top to bottom. Let's thank all of them, okay? So let's get a little enthusiasm so they'll sponsor us again next year. Fresno Housing Authority. We don't want to do this twice. Fresno State Continuing and Global Education Downtown Center. Fresno Grizzlies. Civic Center Square. Are you reading with me? I think we need to have a literature program in that Fresno State thing. They're not reading along with us, all right? I'll slow down. Comcast, all right. PlayFresno.org. Wells Fargo. Access Plus Capital. Central Valley Community Bank. Fresno Yosemite International Airport. Fresno Chamber of Commerce. Fresno EDC. That one that says we is Wong Engineering. Full Circle Brewing Company, right here, fine product. Fresno Convention and Visitors Bureau. Yay, T.W. Patterson Building. CMAC, who is recording us live, so be on your relatively best behavior. Expo Party Rental. Root for downtown. Root, a general store. Saw Kurt and Cassie out here. Design, the Downtown Club. Woo! How about this? Look at these nice new ceiling fans. And the Chinatown Fresno Foundation. You'll be hearing from them in a little bit too. Several of these folks. All right. We have more sponsors. Tree of Life. Joe's Steakhouse. Charburger. Fulton Street Coffee. Central Fish Company. The Downtown Club again. Raw Fresno. Root. Candyman Corner. Did you eat all this food out there? Did you try it all? You kind of look full. Loosen your belts. Fresno Ale Trail. Downtown Ale Trail. Hop PK. Can't recommend that garlic dip enough. And Atlanta Coffee, so you can get up tomorrow after this good party and ball game. All right. So what happened last year? We had some big things happen and some things that might seem really small to you, but I think are really big, and we're going to talk about some of those tonight. So if you haven't heard, Fulton Street opened. Did you guys see that? Pretty good. Piece of cake. Happened overnight. Hardly any effort or conversation or controversy about that, right? Hardly was noticed at all. Thanks for coming out for that, for all of you that participated in the Fulton Street Party. And one of the really fun features of that, for young and old, was, drum roll, Dragging the Main. Dragging the Main, we really liked having that event because we saw people that were 100 years old enjoying it and telling us that they met their wife or husband or someone special on one Saturday night, and they told us all kinds of good stories, and we saw 4-year-olds out there enjoying the cars. So that was a really fun way to celebrate, and we're now celebrating that on the second Saturday of every month. So you can come down and see the cars and watch the people who like to watch cars, and their number one complaint was not enough restaurants, so that helps us get more restaurants and keep other restaurants open. That's how we create the demand so that there'll be more supply. And by the numbers, we had over 10,000 people. We had an amazing 254 volunteers. We had 14 community planning meetings, mostly involving margaritas. We had 240 Dragging the Main car cruise participants, 13 exclusive pop-up shops, bars, and restaurants, 1,200 attendees at the Taste of the Ale Tale. That was pretty funny because I think we had like 30 pre-sale tickets. You guys are really good about planning ahead, and then we had like 1,200 people show up unexpectedly. With our 5 downtown and Chinatown breweries and over 3,000 local beer and wine pours. We also had a Fresno County wine bar that was really fun. So one of the things that, again, might seem small, but I think is important, is that we had our first property owners newsletter that went out this year. So working harder than ever to keep our property owners informed. They're the ones that pay our bills and formed this association and agreed in 2010 to tax themselves so that we could have this organization that does the day-to-day work of downtown revitalization. And this is one, okay, you're going to go crazy for this next one, all right? Are you ready? Right? Are you excited? I want to feel it build. Albie, you excited? Anna Lily, excited? All right, everyone, ready? Woohoo! Now, this is the kind of stuff, if you're a real downtown nerd, this is the stuff that really gets you all goosey, right? So several years ago, we asked the city council to pass an ordinance to get all of the bins in downtown to be locked. But there was a missing piece of that in that we didn't have bins that could be locked, right? So there was a little step in there that we skipped over. But as of last week, with our partners at Mid-Valley Disposal, all of the bins in the Fulton district are now lockable and can be locked. So what does that mean? That means that you won't see garbage that isn't there because people aren't throwing it all over and it's not blowing all over and people aren't illegally dumping in other people's dumpsters. So I don't know about you. I mean, Fulton Street Party, lockable bins, they're pretty close. We had 15 new businesses open. We had 9 new businesses that were in the process of opening in this last year, and 4 expansions of existing businesses, and plenty more on the way. We had a lot of development last year, $30 million in private development, $106 million in ongoing, and $142 million in public investment in our downtown. Right? How about that? For those of you that don't know what TCC is, that is the $70 million in cap and trade that we got for Southwest Fresno, Chinatown, and for downtown. And it was this amazing process. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. It started with maybe the worst public meeting I'd ever been to in my life. Chaos. People yelling, the bathrooms weren't accessible, it was about 180 degrees. I've been doing this stuff for 32 years. When I say it's probably the worst public meeting I've ever been to, there's a lot of competition in that area. So we went from that and through this incredible process where all of these different groups started meeting together and ended up with a compromise that passed 125-1. So that to me is a great sign beyond just the money about a community that is learning to work together to find compromise, ways that we can say, yeah, we'll give and take because it's more important that we go forward as a community than it is that we all try to hold on and grab our individual piece of the pie in a zero-sum game. So that was very exciting. We also got some new art. Several years ago, we got a National Endowment of the Arts Award. It was the first one that Fresno ever got, and we were able to unveil, along with all the art that was restored in downtown Fresno as part of the Fulton renovation, beginning to add new art, because it's not just frozen in time. We want to continue to add that. It'd be great to have more Fresno artists adding to that landscape. And as the lady that did the restoration, who's done restoration all over the world, said, we have the finest outdoor public art display west of the Mississippi. How about that? Pretty good, huh? Well, outside validation from someone who knows what the heck she's talking about. And in that top right corner, one of the things that got funding through the TCC process was a renovated Mariposa Plaza. If you notice, there's like a little stage thing in the back. That's not the full design. It's kind of a block spacing of how it can work. But the idea is to have a full stage set up so that we can more easily and inexpensively begin to put together festivals and Friday night music shows and Shakespeare in downtown and all kinds of fun stuff. So a whole bunch of other things here we're going to list. State Center College District, Community College District bought the Guarantee Building. That was gigantic. Working with the trustees on making sure that it's more than just an office building, and they're very excited for that. If you haven't been by Los Panchos and seen how they've uncovered some over 100-year-old architecture that's been hidden, and it will be our first big patio. Give it up for Los Panchos for being the leader to make that investment. The Smart and Final grocery store, people continue to say, where do you get groceries downtown? We have the nicest Smart and Final in the entire city, and we have Grocery Outlet, and we have Central Fish Company, and it's really not that big of an issue that people think about. Let's see, we got some new owners for the Grizzlies. How about that? They're very excited. Getting Hotel Fresno on the National Register of Historic Places. We got a new soccer team. You might have heard about that. Yay. Also very exciting. And then we've got Renoir Corner happening. Bob Gurfield over here, another pioneer in downtown Fresno, investing in his building and bringing exciting new restaurants, outdoor dining to our downtown area and leading the way. Many will follow. Chicken Shack, Chicken King, we have a lot of chicken going on, and Toshiko Ramen and Sushi. Everyone's excited about the ramen. I mentioned we've got the Drag in the Main that will be every second Saturday. So think of your month now. We're planning it out for you. First Thursday of the month is Art Hop. Second Saturday of the month is Drag in the Main. And the third Friday of the month will be the new Fulton Live event. Albie put on the music for you. Where are you, Albie? Right there. Thank you very much for this. So it's starting to fill out. John Oslin used to say, we have Art Hop, now we just need to fill up the other 30 days out of the month. And we're getting there. Now we're down to about 27 more, so we're sneaking up on it, John. On the 16th of June, 15th of June, we have a Juneteenth event. You know, one of the goals for downtown is that it becomes the place where we celebrate all of the cultures of our community. And Juneteenth is a very big event around the United States as a celebration of the end of slavery. And so that is going to turn into a 3-day event in Fresno, going up from 1 day. So it's going to start on Friday night in downtown with an unbelievable music lineup. So look forward to that. And Let's see, before I announce or have the board members stand up and the staff stand up, we have some elected officials. Is Sal Quintero still here? Oh, you're hiding, Sal. Yeah, you're so shy. There we go. Our county supervisor, Sal Quintero. I'll get to the mayor a little bit later. He gets a speaking role. I saw some District 3 candidates in here. Are there any District 3 candidates in the room? Tate Hill back there. My friend Tate Hill. Darren Miller, who has won the Big Button contest. These are great guys. We appreciate you being here. Any other District 3 candidates? I don't see any other District 3 candidates. All right. All right, so let's have the Downtown Fresno Partnership Board of Directors stand up and take a bow or a curtsy, whatever it is you'd like to do. They get elected by the downtown property owners, and they are downtown property owners and businesses, and they work to oversee the funds to make sure that we are getting the biggest bang for our buck in terms of downtown revitalization. And then the Downtown Fresno Partnership staff are probably all working really hard. I see Chris Rocha back there. Chris. Lee is the guy that cleans up the equivalent of an African male elephant of garbage every year and thousands of cases of graffiti, and really keeps our downtown super clean, and is also coordinating a lot of the safety activities that keep downtown as the safest place in the city. I don't see Jenna. Jenna has done a lot of work on this event. Chilingarian, thanks for all that you've done. They were down here last night sweeping and cleaning and vacuuming. I wasn't, they were. Let's see, where do we have Tatovic or Bianca? Well, they're here. Tatovic, Bianca, thank you all for all of your hard work. And let's see, we have a couple of representatives from our elected representatives of representatives. Representing Congressman Jim Costa is Kathy Mann. Where are you, Kathy? Right up front here. And Claudia Salinas, who is representing Senator Andy Vidak. Thank you also for coming here. So one of the goofy things that you hear in revitalization is you hear people trying to pit each other against each other. You know, like if the Tower District's doing well, then you must be mad downtown, or vice versa, or you must hate the people in Old Town Clovis, or those people in downtown Visalia must be horrible. And that's not the case at all. Right? People who like revitalization, we want all downtowns to be healthy. We want all neighborhoods to be healthy, all neighborhood commercial districts to be healthy, and we really work together in a variety of associations and ways, and always say yes if someone asks for help, or if we ask them for help, they're always willing to share their ideas as well. And this is the case with Chinatown Fresno Foundation. We work together quite a bit during the TCC. We have a ton of respect for them, and to show that respect, they're part of our State of Downtown event, and I'd like you to welcome these people who have invested in our Chinatown. I think one of the most exciting revitalization opportunities in our community. Morgan, why don't you come up here? I think you're the speaker representing the group, and you can introduce everyone, and we wish you the best. When downtown's good, Chinatown's good, and vice versa. Come on up, Morgan. Come on up. Don't be shy. Whoops. Got it?
Hello.
Oh, he can turn that on. He can turn it on where he is.
Hello, hello. All right, thank you, Craig. All right, Chinatown property and business owners organized for the Transformative Climate Communities, the TCC. But we formed the Chinatown Fresno Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit, to combat the significant impact of road construction on our businesses. Our mission is to foster civic pride and enhance the quality of life in our neighborhood. We are working to create a vibrant mixed-use neighborhood that can grow and prosper, even in challenging conditions that we face today. We welcome investment into Chinatown. I'm Morgan Noizaki, Board Chair of the Chinatown Fresno Foundation. Next is Barbara.
Good evening. My name is Barbara Wilson. I'm a property owner in Chinatown. In fact, because of my dad, my family have been property owners for over 53 years. He was a pastor who cared about helping people, and by being a property owner of commercial and real estate residence property in Chinatown, he was able to help people while also being in the community. Over the years, we've rented spaces to various types of businesses, new entrepreneurs, opening their first brick and mortar business, and established companies who were growing and wanted to be in Chinatown and have a downtown presence. We provided housing for those needing it, such as returning citizens. My dad even helped them to find jobs because he knew that was the only way to keep them from going back. My dad occupied one of his retail spaces as his office because it was important for him to be in the community every day, to be present, participate, and advocate for the people in Chinatown. Our community has been waiting for the redevelopment of Chinatown for over 40 years, and to see it finally happening is great. As a property owner, I'm looking forward to the fresh look and feel of the area, but even more so what the investments will bring to Chinatown. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Ophelia Hemi, and I'm an owner, and I've been around Chinatown for 44 years. And I'm doing business for 25. I own 3 businesses. I closed one a couple of years ago, and this month I'm closing another one. But I'm staying with a family business that now my son and hopefully my kids and grandkids will stay. So I'm here to support everybody. Thank you.
Good evening, Arthur Moy, CEO of Full Circle Brewing Company. We're a little brewery on the corner of F and Ventura, where at one point there was a lot of doubt, and now there is a lot of awesome craft beer and great entertainment. So we want to continue that. And I'd like to say that, like Craig said, there's $23 million of TCC funds going into Chinatown. So the whole landscape of Chinatown is going to change. So if you guys are interested in putting your money into the downtown area, give a second look to Chinatown and come have a beer.
My name is Fuji Yamakawa Robeski. I've been making fresh tofu, handmade tofu in Chinatown for 23 years. We are located on the corner of F and Mono, just down the street from Full Circle Brewery. We are the only fresh tofu maker left in the entire San Joaquin Valley. Tofu has been made in Fresno, Chinatown since the late 1800s, and we will strive to keep that tradition. We distribute our tofu locally at 3 supermarkets, Central Fish, RN Market, and The Market on Herndon and I think it's West. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Mark Carson. My company or business, I'm a general building contractor in Fresno. We do public works construction projects. My company is RMC Enterprises. I invested in Chinatown because I think it was as well worth the effort, and I have a good location there. I'm just on E Street, and it has really been very beneficial there. It's easy access. We have really good food locally, and restaurants and downtown, and is very close. So everything is real convenient for us. But I'm just glad to be part of this association and this partnership to to relocate to Chinatown. Thank you.
We are Chinatown.
Get out of your way. While they're walking away, I'm going to plug that tofu. Like, I love tofu, but I hear from people that don't, maybe they've just had some store-bought tofu before. You got to go to Central Fish and buy that tofu. It will change your tofu world. All right? It's fantastic. And I also want to acknowledge, I don't know if Annette is here from the Central Valley Brewers Guild. There's a way in the back there. She had her hand up. Keep it up there, Annette. We have a Brewers Guild that is including all of the commercial brewers and all the home brewers, and this is really going to help us promote and get the word out and have events and things like that around our brewers, both the commercial and others, and it will create another entrepreneurship path along with Brew U and SEDS in the City and other events like that. So we have this other guy here. He might have some news for us. Are you ready? Let's give a big downtown welcome to Mayor Lee Brand. I should go that way.
I'm not going to trip.
You go this way, and then I'll go that way, and then I won't be in your way there. Peeve might be in your way, but I'll get out of here.
Much obstacles up here. God, what a great crowd. Give yourself a hand. Last year at the State of the Downtown meeting, I spoke and demonstrated some dancing moves. And I made the mistake of posting on Facebook with the caption, "Don't worry, I won't quit my day job." So the first post was, "Please quit your day job." So there's a lot of talk about downtown revitalization. Fulton Street is behind schedule. Well, I disagree. And at the risk of being redundant, and I think we can be redundant on some of the stuff that Craig talked about, let's talk about what's happened downtown the last couple of years, starting with Fulton Street. My staff told me to expect 500 to 1,000 people on the grand opening. We had over 3,000 people that day, and I think by the time it came around night and had a few drinks, there were probably about 10,000 people. But be patient with Fulton Street. Fulton Street will be successful. Yes. So we have Art Hop, we have Fresh Yes, we have alley parties, we have thousands of people coming downtown, maybe only 3 days a week, not 30 days a week. But there's a lot of good food, good drinks, and good music. It's all part of making Fresno and downtown more viable. We have the Ale Trail. We have the Drag in the Main. Actually, I was not that old. I was 14 years old when they put them all. I couldn't drive back then, so I did have friends, though, that dragged the main. We have new owners of the Grizzlies. And this is the third ownership group of the Grizzlies, and the third time is a charm. We got Ray and Michael Baker and Jim Kufos. Please give them a big hand for making the investment in Fresno. They have the financial wherewithal and the professional experience to be successful. So this transaction was an all-cash transaction. This deal included putting $5 million aside for reserve for capital expenses, and over 20 years, both the team and the city putting money aside to make sure this stadium is always maintained in top condition, and we don't have a situation where the scoreboard goes down for 2 or 3 years. And right out of the gate, they're talking about putting $1 million improvement in the stadium. So I'm confident that the Fresno Grizzlies are here to stay, and they're going to be very successful in downtown Fresno. And as you know, we have a new soccer team, the Fresno Foxes. Give them a big hand. Viva Sorios. Get that right, Mark? And I went to the opening game of over 7,000 people. I actually kicked the ball 10 feet. But I am confident they're going to be successful. There's a huge appetite in Fresno for soccer, and they're currently playing at Grizzly Stadium, but they're looking for their own stadium, and we are looking for sites downtown. Stay tuned on that one. You can give a hand, it's okay. There's a new 200-room, 4-star hotel coming in next to the convention center, so we will take a close look at that and try to make connectivity with the convention center. And we're looking at a lot of changes going on with the convention center, because what downtown is, it's a lot of key components, and the convention center is one of them. Grizzly Stadium is another one. As Craig mentioned, the State Center Community College District is located in downtown Fresno, and that's a lot of work for the city. I want to thank the people at the State Center Junior College, Carol Goldsmith, Paul Parnell. They had choices to go in Clovis, and they chose downtown Fresno, so give them a hand. They'll be bringing hundreds of employees, and hopefully that's the start of other anchors coming downtown. And as Craig mentioned too, we have the TCC, the Transformative Climate Communities. The important part about that's $140 million total investment for Southwest Fresno, Chinatown, and downtown. But a lot of that money is going for infrastructure downtown. That's a key component for us to be successful to develop more properties downtown. The high-speed rail station, I know this thing keeps going back and back, but one day that station is going to be here. When that station comes here and connects Fresno to Silicon Valley, it's going to totally rewrite the history of Fresno, so stay patient with the high-speed rail. And Chief Dyer came to me today to remind me that the crime statistics for vehicle thefts and burglaries have dramatically dropped downtown. There's a special policing unit that now, on game days for soccer and Grizzlies baseball, will watch over people's cars and make sure everybody has a pleasant experience. And realistically, the timeline to really fully revitalize a downtown is probably 5 to 10 years. In other cities that had converted a mall to a through street, it took 5 to 10 years. And I've said this many times. In 10 years, you won't recognize downtown. I honestly believe, if I'm still around here 10 years from now, it's going to be a totally complete revitalization of downtown. My job is to promote downtown. And to do that, we're making some tools with our development department to make things easier to develop downtown, including streamlining the plan check and permitting process. Our new Excel software will allow people to electronically sort of permit a conditional use permit and get it done very expeditiously and cheaper. We're reducing the fees on all development impact fees by 50%. On conditional, it's okay. On conditional use permits, we're streamlining that, and in cases like in a brewery, we're going to basically bypass the CUP process. That allows businesses to come online quicker. And downtown events are good. Having 10,000 people come down here for Fresh Yes are great. But ultimately, we need long-term tenants. And in particular, we need market-rate residential housing. So let me tell you a story. I went to Spain last year to look at the high-speed rail. We spent most of the time in Madrid, and every night between 9 and 10 o'clock, everybody goes out to dinner. There are thousands of people in the streets at outdoor dining, festive atmosphere, music, everything. And I said to myself, why are all these people coming out here, thousands of people? I looked up, and everybody that lived there, downtown, goes there and frequents downtown. The point is, we need to have people moving downtown. We need rooftops. That will drive everything. And ultimately, market forces will drive the growth of downtown. I'm convinced by my time at City Council and as mayor, and 38 years in the private sector in real estate and development, downtown is going to be successful. I hear that. So finally, I want to congratulate and thank the Downtown Fresno Partnership, its board, Craig Sharton, for your years of service and for your vision of downtown. Give him a hand. And good luck in the council race. We may be working together. I welcome the new CEO, and I hope I get this right, James Soricchio. Did I get that right? Close enough? I'm looking forward to working with your staff and my staff on making this partnership. And now it's my pleasure to present the recipients of this year's Al Allen Leadership Award. This year, recipients have been a driving force in changing the face and dynamics of downtown Fresno. They had an idea that created a mothership in to attract local tech innovators. And Bitwise Industries has grown dramatically, igniting a revolution that will likely put Fresno on the map with the other major tech hubs, including San Jose, Seattle, and Austin. Sorry about that, Craig. So, drum roll. Please join me in welcoming the co-founders of Bitwise Industries, Irma Oakman and Jake Soberall, this year's winners of the Al Allen Downtown Leadership Award. Mark.
Keep it going. Ow! I think we got it.
In there.
Go to open.
There's no irony greater than the tech just dropping out right when the tech company walks onto stage. So it's that's not an omen. We have plenty of good things in store. Really appreciative of this recognition. We're just getting started. Thanks so much.
Yeah, this is a really neat honor that I feel like is supposed to be for grown-ups. And we've fallen in love with this city, I think, in part because of this city being responsible for making us. And so we feel fortunate to get to try the stuff we do in our downtown. And as Irma said, as long as you all will keep letting us try to do ridiculous things in downtown, we'd like to continue doing that. So thank you.
Hey everybody, can you hear me in the back? Great. My name's Diego Arambula. It's really hard. Hey, I'll take it. Thanks, Phil. I just needed one clap. I'm off. I'm gone. I grew up here in Fresno. My dad's first office was at the Helm Building. So I remember growing up in downtown Fresno, and I love downtown Fresno. I work in education now, but I sit on the Downtown Fresno Foundation. It's a sister to the Downtown Fresno Partnership. We're a nonprofit organization focused on the same exact mission of making sure that downtown thrives. Sitting on that board along with me are some people who are in this room. Dean Moore is here in the front. Thanks for doing that work. Derek Franks from the Grizzlies is here. Sarah Moffett is our driving energy. She's not here tonight, but she'll hear us down in LA, I think. Jordan Gustafson just joined us a few months back, yay. Catherine Haney from Charburger is on our board. And Kate Island is with us. We are all really excited tonight to get to talk to you about one of the best partners we have downtown, Fresno State. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of backdrop and then a specific story about something they've done that's led to us talking about them tonight. So you may remember that Fresno State back in 2015 launched the Fresno State Downtown Center. They offer a range of different courses in Bitwise South. If you haven't been, you really should check it out. There are some really cool things happening, some great courses that they offer. One of them that they are offering in particular has been a huge part of continuing this energy downtown. So Scott, sitting with us on the foundation a couple of years ago, saw that there were some breweries getting up and off the ground. And we began to talk about what might it look like for Fresno State to leverage their position as a trusted partner to really help engage and continue that work. And so what Fresno State Downtown Center did was they created a course called Craft Beer 101. They didn't know if anyone would take it, but they said, hey, let's give it a shot. That course filled up in just about a week's time. And so they said, hey, maybe this is something folks are excited about. Let's do it again. And out of that was born something called Brew U. So now Craft Beer 101 has been taught 3 different times downtown. Craft Beer 201 has been created. That's sort of like a chef's challenge, but with home brewing. And Craft Beer 301 is on the books and about to come out. This has contributed to so much of what you see downtown. Fresno, the downtown ale trail, is benefited by this work. All of the energy of new breweries starting downtown is benefited by this work. And it's not just the people in this room who know that this work is happening. Brew U caught the attention of some pretty big folks. So the International Downtown Association learned about the work of Brew U, the partnership between Fresno State and Full Circle Brewing, and they decided to give them an award. So tonight, I would like to honor them with an award, but here's the problem. Fresno State is winning too many awards. So we made it little so that they could fit it right onto their shelf. But Fresno State has won an award. I'm gonna make sure that I get it right. From the International Downtown Association, thank you, Craig. It is the Award for Merit for Economic and Business Development. Accepting this award tonight, Dr. Scott Moore, who's here, Mary Castro, who's here with a whole bunch of folks from Cabinet. I'm gonna try and get all of these names right. Paula Castadio, who I know, Orlando Leone, who's over here. Paula is the vice president for a whole bunch of amazing things. She's unbelievable. Orlando heads up the chief information officer. Yep, got that. Larry Salinas, who heads all of government relations. I think that's who I had on my list. Oh, Debbie A. Stone, who is VP for administration. I'm sorry, Debbie, we're gonna get to know each other. We don't know each other yet. Thank you. Let's give Fresno State a round of applause, please. Thank you so much.
Sounds good. Sounds great. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm Dr. Scott Moore. I'm Dean of the Division of Continuing Global Education at Fresno State, and I got to tell you, it's a great time to be downtown. I'm delighted to be here to represent Fresno State and our downtown center. And before I begin, let me extend a warm welcome to our higher education colleagues from the State Center Community College District, who will soon be our neighbors down the street at the former Guarantee Savings Building. Together with the State Center Community College District, Fresno State believes that a strong Central Valley begins right here with a strong downtown Fresno. And we are committed to continued growth and the revitalization of downtown Fresno. Since 2015, Fresno State has offered several courses and dozens of workshops and professional development courses in our downtown facility located in Bitwise South Stadium, providing access to those who might not otherwise be served by Fresno State's main campus. We know that learning occurs not just in the traditional classrooms, rather educational opportunity exists in many different forms for many different audiences. Our veterans, our working parents, our single parents, and our developing workforce matter deeply to Fresno State. And while we still have some gaps in our offerings, we're making great strides to close those gaps. For example, last year we developed a Career Readiness Academy designed for individuals who had previously faced economic or personal setbacks, and we're looking for resources to help them secure new skills and employment. This program offered hundreds of free seats in classes focusing on 21st century skills, including problem solving, creativity, business communication, and public speaking, all designed to enhance career skills. We partnered with several dozen community-based organizations, including the United Way and the Fresno Rescue Mission, to match our educational resources at Fresno State with deserving student populations. And thanks to a generous grant from Wells Fargo, we offered this entire suite of classes for free. But tonight is about looking forward, so I'd like to highlight just a few of the upcoming programs that we'll be offering this summer in our downtown center. First, local author Janice Stevens and artist Pat Hunter will share their knowledge in an ongoing series about Fresno's architectural history. Their next class, focusing on Fresno's public buildings and historic homes, begins June 5th. Next, an introduction to 3D modeling and animation will provide training on the use of powerful free software that's called Blender. This is a program that's used by hundreds of thousands of individuals around the world. Then we'll turn our attention to Chinatown. We'll be offering a series on the many cultures who contributed to Fresno's historic Chinatown, culminating with an underground tour of old Chinatown. I'm looking forward to that tour. That class begins early August. And finally, by popular demand, we're continuing the success of our Brew You program, reviving Craft Beer 101, scheduled to begin May 16th. And tonight, I'm pleased to announce 2 new Brew You classes, as Diego kind of jumped in and got it for me. You're doing great, Diego. Craft Beer 201, Homebrew Challenge, which begins September 6th, and Craft Beer 301, Sensory and Styles. That class is going to be offered this July. We're delighted to partner with Full Circle Brewing Company and Tioga Sequoia Brewing Company as we continue to expand this popular series. Details of these programs and other engaging workshops, they're all found on our website, FresnoStateDowntown.com. We're looking forward to developing more engaging, innovative, and exciting classes in our downtown center in the months ahead, and I hope that you'll take advantage of some of those classes. So in conclusion, know how much Fresno State and its cabinet support your efforts to strengthen the Central Valley by strengthening our downtown. We're proud to be your partner, shaping tomorrow's Fresno. And next week, we'll be releasing our latest Fresno State magazine. For those of you that are alums, you might look forward to getting that magazine. The focus of that magazine is going to be highlighting the efforts of our alumni in downtown revitalization. So tonight, I'll leave you with a video preview of that magazine and the reminder that it truly is a great time to be downtown.
There's a lot of exciting things that people should be proud of when it comes to Fresno and downtown, because this is our community, and I think the more stories like this that people see and hear, the more we can start changing the narrative about kind of our self-esteem, because this is a pretty cool place to be.
You can't recreate it. We don't really need to tear any more buildings down. So I think, you know, the key is keeping a piece of our history, a piece of something that feels good when you're down here. History is something that people are only getting more and more attached to because we're getting less and less of it.
We have to unite together and go, this is what we want for our downtown. And then we have to be in agreement, and the city have to drive that vision. And if the city don't drive that vision, I think it's going to take years and years.
Downtown Fresno is quite literally the fingerprint of our entire city and our region. We don't need to go spend billions of dollars somewhere else to create a downtown. We have a downtown right here.
I have no slides tonight, so I'm not touching any of this. My name's Jason Guile. I am the board chair this year, and very excited to be here tonight to introduce. Very excited to technical problems again. Introduce our new president and CEO. My first experience downtown was really bad. I was 16. I was working for my father, who owned a maintenance company on the Fulton Mall. So in 1986, I was picking up hypodermic needles, diapers, cigarette butts, and I really did hate that, right? I mean, you're 16 years old. As I began to work in an actual professional setting, 10 years later, I saw the Downtown Association as an opportunity to get involved and help change what it was. It was a demilitarized zone in the 80s, and it became an exciting project for our city. And so I got on that board. And during that time, we had two different really paths. We had people who were going towards save the mall, and we had open the mall. And at one point, I just had to say, look, we're not going anywhere, and I left. 3 years ago, I came back, and I was blown away at the leadership, and it really attracted me to get involved in something to put some effort into. And after, I don't have to go over all the accomplishments, what I want to do is say, you know, welcome to Fresno, James Tracchio. He wants to be called Jimmy, just so you know, so this is the last time I'm going to be calling him James. But welcome up, Jimmy, welcome to Fresno, and give him a round of applause. I'm not touching any of that.
All right, thank you, everybody. Yes, my name is James, but I go by Jimmy. If you say James, I may not answer because I'm not used to hearing that. But feel free to call me Jimmy whenever you see me. I am thrilled to be here in Fresno. We drove 3,000 miles across country just last weekend, and so I'm actually extra happy to finally be here. We had 3 dogs with us the whole time, and a friend and my mom helping us, and it was kind of crazy. So I was thinking back to actually Fresno in general. 12 years ago, when I was first working in the downtown world in downtown Phoenix, one of my coworkers was from Fresno, and she talked about it nonstop and about how amazing it was, and eventually she went back there, but before she left, she told me, you need to move to Fresno, you would love it there. And this is 12 years ago, I'm like, yeah, right, it's never gonna happen. Well, you know, time passed. I got to know Kate Borders, who most of you know. And then when this job came up, I talked to her and a few other people who were from here, a guy in Norfolk that we know, it's a bartender who was from here, and they were all like, you gotta go, you're gonna love it. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna apply for this job. And so far, I gotta say, it's 1 week in, and I love it. Like, this city is amazing. The passion the people here have for this city has already got me like super excited over it, so. A little bit of quick background on me. I've been doing the downtown thing for 14, 15 years now. Started off in downtown Phoenix. I actually have a fine arts degree, so I'm not, my background's a little different, and I kind of fell into this. But before that, I was working at the Phoenix Symphony, and I'm a musician, so I was playing the art galleries of downtown Phoenix during First Fridays. We were playing out on street corners, stuff like that. And I was always talking about how great downtown Phoenix was. I loved it. I loved being there. We created our own little world down there. My relatives, nobody believed it. They're like, oh, it's horrible down there. There's homeless people. You don't want to be there. But when I channeled that, I got the job in Downtown Phoenix Partnership, and we channeled that into like telling this story about how great it was. And now it's like Downtown Phoenix is booming, and I played a part in that, and I feel great about it. So I was there about 5 years. I got recruited to downtown Tempe, Arizona. We did great things there. It was right when the economy tanked and retail closed up everywhere, and our offices were going vacant. But over about 5 years there, we got it turned around, got our office vacancy down to like 4%. Retail vacancy down in the single digits. I mean, we did amazing things, and they're booming now too. So, and that's where Cape Borders ended up, which is funny enough. And then after that, I decided it was time to move up to an executive director job. I had my boss's blessing. I ended up moving across country to Virginia, to Hampton, Virginia, head up the Downtown Hampton Development Partnership. We had a lot of accomplishments there for such a small community, where we changed zoning, we positioned the city for great growth. They're on the verge of their first major development in over 20 years, which is a really big deal for the peninsula area of Hampton Roads. But after that, I got sick of the snow and sick of cold weather, so now I'm here because I'm from the desert and I need to be in warm weather. So yes, I'm in Fresno, I'm super psyched for it. So I know I've heard from lots of people already about challenges. I mean, even my landlord, the day I moved in, was going off to me about parking in downtown, and that's why he never comes downtown, and parking meters are horrible. So I've heard homeless challenges and vacancy challenges. Those are things we deal with in the downtown world, and cities all across the country have similar problems. We have answers, we have ways to work together to solve these things, and I'm looking forward to like working with each of you to try to move forward past this and make downtown more vibrant. You have so many positive things going for this city in just the short time I've been here. When I came for my interview, when I moved here the other day, just what I've seen. You have attractions, you have events, you have history, you have creative things going on like the Art Hop. That just sounds amazing, and I can't wait to see my first one. What an art walk can actually do for a city will blow your mind. And from what I've heard, it's growing quite quickly. You have tech companies like Bitwise doing great things and turning buildings around like super quick. You're on your third building, I've heard, right? So yeah, all these great things are happening for you guys. You have an emerging nightlife, you have breweries. The biggest thing I think you have though is the board, the staff. I mean, those guys are oozing passion for this place, and all the other people I'm meeting, they have the same thing. You know, I went up to the Tower District, and people there love Fresno, and people I've talked to are like, oh, downtown's cool, you know, it's almost there, it's almost there. You guys are the piece that will make this happen. Once you all keep pushing, keep showing that passion, and this city will just explode, and I'm positive about that happening. So a couple other things. I know there's going to be a meet and greet scheduled, so sometime in the next few weeks, show up to that. Feel free to talk to me. I would like more one-on-ones with many of you, so feel free to reach out to the office. My official start date is Monday. We'll set up times that we can talk. I want to hear what your guys' ideas are, what your concerns are, what you thought worked and didn't work in the past, and how we can kind of make all that come together and build up some good partnerships and make things happen. Also, I'm supposed to announce before we go, folks who received a game ticket at check-in for the Grizzlies game tonight, please join us for that. It'll be a good time. I'm looking forward to seeing some baseball. I didn't really have that in Hampton Roads, so I'm very, very thrilled for that. And then also there was an important video that didn't get shown early about the Fulton Street Party. TWW Patterson did the video for the organization, and I think it's a good thing that we could leave on. So I'm going to say thank you here, and then we're going to back up and go to the video. All the way at the beginning, right?
Fulton is open for business. Since the day the council voted to open Fulton Street in 2014, over $100 million has been invested in downtown.
Today we believe in downtown Fresno. And I'll tell you, it wasn't too long ago when we weren't sure about that.
I see it now. This is the beginning to a transformation of a prosperous downtown.
Fulton Street has taught us three things. It's taught us the places where we fought for decades and believed we'll never get resolution, we'll never find a path forward. Well, guess what? Fulton Street was the epitome of that project, and yet we took it on.
Be American. Express how you feel and take the credit. Don't settle for 87. Go premium unleaded. Be leaders, believers in yourself, and mean it. I mean, you only get one shot. Take it or leave it. Fresno, this is our chance to rise up. This is our chance to be proud of our downtown and our community and to set some roots, because we're growing families right here in the central San Joaquin Valley. Because this is a wonderful place for us to raise our future generations, and I am so proud to add my voice to yours today, to be a proud Fresnan who's proud of our downtown and everything that we're doing.
I believe in Fresno. I believe in downtown.
Thank you very much for coming out. Go out and enjoy a ball game. Have fun in your downtown. We love you.